we got any questions here. So Zeppo7 is asking, is there any national parks that would be accessible for a disabled person? You guys were just at one, I thought.
Yeah, I know there are several classes that I've been out on that Zion had some places where you could get out that were wheelchair accessible. The Arches and Canyonlands have some too. And like Richard was saying, you can kind of...
Bryce is the same. As far as if you're not going to go down into the canyon on the top, if you're looking at Bryce.
Yeah. And even some things, because you're just driving along the road, it's just like in Yellowstone when you're going through Lamar Valley, like you don't have to even get out of your car and you're going to see bison.
No, I shoot from the car most of the time with the telephoto lens. You just literally pull over in a little pull off. And my daughter and I will just be shooting from the car.
Yeah, I dare to say all the ones we've covered in our series is definitely accessible.
Yeah, we did pick parks that are popular but accessible. Like we don't want to,
easily accessible.
Like, that's the whole thing. Is I tell people like Big Bend National Parks, it's hard to get to, and it's probably not going to be on the top of people's lists. But there's a few others that I can think of. Like we talked about Arches. I actually think Yosemite, because most of the overlooks are like right there, like the famous overlooks. Like you just get out and you get off and everything's paved and everything's concrete or got a path. Badlands is the same way. You pull up and there's always flat paths that go on.
And there's
a lot of them.
One of the things that I did see a member actually comment too, and it's a good point, is Donald Hess says the NPS app is a great reference to have on hand for research and just getting around. And those maps will also tell you which paths are wheelchair accessible, and you can download those maps offline. So typically when you go into a park, you're going to lose cell phone reception. So it's always a good idea to download that map, have it available to look at, because you don't want to get lost or not know where to go because you don't have reception.
Yeah. Right. And that's a good point, because in some of these bigger parks, especially Yellowstone is one, Death Valley is another, you're not going to get signal.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up, because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, like you weren't. And I remember telling like, hey, we need offline our maps. And then you're like, yeah, we only get cell phone signal when we're at the hotel because they have a little tower there. And then the minute you leave that, it's like you got nothing.
And every hotel I've experienced, the internet is really poor.
Really poor.
Like it's so slow.
Really poor.
I can barely.
Yeah, it's nice. You're like out in the middle of nowhere.
That's why you have hot spots.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the problem that he's saying. And like
for the hotel,
it's just so hard. It's so hard with those.
Yep.
What else we got there, Christina?
And Juan was saying the Google Maps is another good resource that you can download things.
Yep. But I definitely agree with what you're saying. One of the underrated things is people don't download the National Park app.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of people think, app, government, it's going to be bad. It actually is. That's one of the best things we have. Like that National Park app is very good.
Yeah, and they even do like audio, tours, so you can hear where you're at and like information on it. So yeah, it is really cool. I was going to also bring up for gear that obviously we always think in terms of photography gear, but some of the other stuff that I've experienced was like just having the right shoes, is so important. I had waterproof boots for this one. Good thing I did, because we were stepping in swamps and what Jason called the Bison toilet. And
you gotta watch out for the patties.
You have to watch out for the patties. And like making sure you have sunscreen, hat, raincoat. And I remember just having to layer so much, especially on this last trip, because it would be really cold in the morning. And then by the end of the day, I'm literally in a tank top because it's so hot. So just like having that type of stuff with you too, that way you can stay comfortable, and bring your water, because you're not going to be getting snacks in the middle of the park. So you really need to make sure you have water and snacks with you, just to be prepared.
The biggest temperature change was Death Valley. Remember when we went up overlooking the Star Wars city?
Yeah. We were up at the Overlook.
Oh my gosh! So I was prepared all day until we got up there, and I actually had gloves on and everything, but it went through. It was bone chilling.
Really?
Yeah, because we were down at the floor. When we started there, it was it was about 70. It was the morning because we were out early. I think it was 72 degrees down there. We got up there, it was almost freezing.
Wow.
And windy.
Wow.
So like, the whole crew, like all of us, we went to, all right, we'll do this, but it's not going to be that long. So that's maybe one of that. It was pretty brutal. Yeah, but you have to be prepared. It's a good point for layers and different weather. You know?
For sure.
That's where, because Yellowstone's one that it'll throw you for a curve. Like, I've been in June and it's snowing.
Yeah. Yeah. And depend on how high up you are too, because there was snow up there even in June.
It was funny. We saw some tourists doing the angels in the snow.
Yes.
Oh, we did. That's right. Someone is saying, Allison Tuck. Hi, Allison. She's saying, you told us that Milky Way was doable in Yellowstone, Eric, and we got some great shots with no people.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm telling you. That's the one thing. The dark side of the national parks is just as cool as the day side, the light side.
Yes.
Right? That I think a lot of people that's what's so great about the national parks. So a lot of them are open 24 hours. That you can go in and get these scenes. Like Yellowstone, for example, I've got a great shot where it's Old Faithful going off with the Milky Way behind it.
Nice.
That area and that shot, like earlier in the day, thousands of people there. You can't even walk.
Right.
But at night, it was us with 2 other people. Like
wow.
4 people in that whole area.
Yeah, a similar thing happened to us in the morning. It was just a few people out there, and then by the time we walked around and got some other shots nearby, when we started to come back, it was like just everybody was surrounded by people.
So I hope you're picking this up as a photographer. If we're photographers, the one thing we got to get, uncomfortable. We can't go when it's comfortable.
Yes.
Like that's the one thing. If you want great shots, they're not going to happen when the tour bus lets you off at 2:00 in the afternoon. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, why put all this effort into the gear and the travel and the money and all the stuff that you put into it to then show up at the wrong times?
Right.
And it's just, as a photographer, we got to realize that it's going to be uncomfortable to get those shots. It just is. And you'll see that when we do the critiques and we'll say, I wonder what that shot looked like at sunrise. I wonder what that shot looked like at sunset.
Yeah.
It's because in our mind, we're thinking that's a beautiful scene in crappy light.